Welcome to the 2019 New Year edition of the Valmark Voice, a podcast vocalizing noteworthy Valmark news and hot topics in the life insurance, retirement planning, and investment advice marketplace. During these episodes, you, our Valmark member offices, will be presented with information valuable to independent financial advisory and wealth transfer firms, including developments in the investment and insurance industries, and noteworthy ideas to incorporate and utilize in your practice. In this episode, Larry J. Rybka, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Valmark, provides an update on Valmark's 2018 year-end results and a quick overview of the feedback from Valmark's most recent member firm survey.
Welcome to the New Year edition of the Valmark Voice, the audio news podcast of the Valmark Financial Group. In this recording, I would like to highlight the 2018 results and review our plans for 2019 and beyond. This first 2 months of the year is a busy time for us, with meetings with the Valmark Board, Advisory Board, and meetings with all of our core carrier partners. In this introduction, I would like to share some of the data, trends, and themes that have been part of our dialogue with these key stakeholders. 2018 was a good year for the Valmark Financial Group and our member firms, with total revenues up 4% over 2017. The average Valmark member firm averaged just over $1.1 million with us. There were some business lines that saw particularly strong growth. Advisory fees led that, being up 11% overall. Life settlements continued to grow, with funded cases up 50% over 2017. While we had a strong quarter to finish the year in life insurance, total premiums were down in 2018. But even with this dip, we did see an increase in policies issued, with 10% more policies in 2018 over 2017. One of the most important leading indicators was a great leap forward in financial plans produced with and for Valmark firms. 4,675 plans produced last year. This included a 58% year-over-year increase in retirement income security kits, or you know them as RISK. I attribute this single metric to the increase in asset management fees, annuities, life insurance, and overall revenue. In addition to our sales results for 2018, we now have member office survey results in as well. Thank you for the very strong response. We had participation from 257 of our 300 client-facing advisors. 60% of you felt our overall value proposition as a firm improved in 2018, with 39% feeling it stayed the same, and a mere 2 advisors of the 257 felt our value proposition had decreased. 65% of our firms rate us as excellent, 32% is good, and 2% is average. While all departments scored above a 4 on a 5-point scale, you rated our top 2 areas, underwriting new business and our financial planning teams, as top scorers. We are also glad to see a significant improvement in investment operations new business and investment operations service. Later on in this podcast, Caleb will talk about this and our vision for investment offerings in a segment he calls RIA 5.0. Turning to the life insurance business, for the last 6 years, we have been articulating a business model for life insurance around our vision of Life Insurance 10X. The book we published with our firms last year, Life Insurance 10X, cataloged the best practice that leads to better results for clients. At a very high level, it showed how we are building systems with our member firms to provide better service to clients and results by focusing on 4 key areas. These 4 key areas allow Valmark firms to point to differentiation in the LI360 process that leads to better results. These differentiators include a purposeful choice of carriers and products that will be there for the long haul, with a carrier and product select list and our star rating system. 2, getting clients the most favorable ongoing costs of insurance through our underwriting advocacy and our private underwriting risk evaluation system. 3. Purposeful design with the LA360 blueprint that provides a much more informed dialogue with clients over product and funding alternatives. And finally, ongoing policy monitoring and management for every policy with an annual report showing how each policy is doing compared to the client's original goals. The final 2 segments of this podcast explore how the use of LA360 process can differentiate our firms from the rest of the insurance world on those final 2 elements. In fact, I can now say we have documented proof that the policies sold and serviced by some Valmark firms are now delivering results for clients that are 3 or 4 times better than industry benchmarks. My interview with Bobby Samuelson really highlights why, from the very inception of the policy, the 10X insurance advisor must take ownership for helping the client to separate product types and funding strategies that have a high chance of success from those that are almost certain to disappoint the clients in the long run. In the final segment, Michael Miklich will talk about the results we are now seeing on 2,000 policies in the Valmark Policy Management Company with 30 different life insurance companies. In addition to proving how our firms are getting better results for clients, we can now demonstrate higher revenue for the firms using the Valmark Policy Management Company. Doing the right thing for clients in the long term is also good business. How can we prove results that are 3 or 4 times better than the industry? Industry data tells us that 40% of all flexible premium policies are on track to lapse before their lifetime, and that 12% of policies with guarantees have breached those guarantees already, and 70% of policies don't even have an active agent to service them. I contrast that with the results from the 2,000 policies under administration in the Valmark Policy Management Company. A full 82% of those policies are on track with no change needed. An additional 11% of the policies that we are monitoring are both competitively priced and the right product, but need some adjustment or recalibration to get back on track. This means that only 6% of the policies that we are monitoring would justify replacement. To me, that translates to a 93% success ratio for Valmark firms. We have an additional 1% of policies we administer that it could make economic sense for the client to settle. That certainly is conclusive proof of the quality of business and service that Valmark firms collectively provide. It's something we all can be proud of. Building a strong marketing story around these results for firms that have fully embraced LA360 is one of our key initiatives for 2019. Henry Kissinger said, "Every level of success buys you an admission ticket to a more difficult problem." This goes for every business line at Valmark. We're pleased with our progress. We're pleased with the improved marks you're giving us and the adoption of client-facing technology, including Riskalyze, MyCase, and eMoney. The improved marks you gave our staff show that we are making progress. But we recognize that client expectations in every business line, but particularly the investment space, will always be a moving target. Caleb specifically addresses our plans for Valmark continued development of technology on the investment side, leveraging the technology of our clearing partners at Schwab, TD Ameritrade, and Pershing. For at least the last 15 years, we have had a member advisory board that we meet with quarterly. They provide us candid, unfiltered assessment of how are we doing by business line and as a company as a whole. They often have great insights, how we can do a better job of helping them service clients. Even though most of the people on this board have been with us a dozen years or more, it's clear that this group didn't even understand all the products and services we were offering. At the October meeting, Ed Skelly suggested that we expand our member firm scorecard so that you could see exactly which product sets, technology, and service each firm was using, and being able to benchmark your firm against other firms. We have already brought a mock-up of this scorecard back to the advisory committee this month and are committed to have a working version of it in place prior to Member Summit. As I close this segment of the podcast, I am again grateful for our partnership with your member firms. We can look back at a proud history of 55 years working with advisors who want to do the right thing for their clients and look to Valmark as a long-term business partner. They look to us for stability, community of like-minded professionals, and innovation that will allow our firms to continue to prosper